Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Why are you looking at
My name is Joseph Hudson, also known as Jocephus Brody. I'm a professional wrestler. Been doing it for 3 years now. Before that, I worked as a librarian. I wanted to be a librarian, like a reference librarian, because I've always collected books and read a lot of books. And just when I was younger, I think the library saved my life because it was kind of like my sanctuary, that and church as well when I was younger. I just wanted to get a master's in library science and just kind of have a quiet existence after I got my degree, but obviously that hasn't happened at this point, so it's getting very loud in my life. As a kid, I watched a lot of wrestling. I watched the Memphis stuff on Saturday mornings. I watched some WWF. I started having an interest in wrestling again in maybe like 2006, 2007. My brother and I started writing a screenplay that had a lot of wrestling themes involved with it. My idea was, well, one of us has to go research this and network a little bit, and maybe eventually we can meet some wrestlers. And so I started going to all these local shows, and I started thinking, well, I should train probably to be a wrestler, see what this, get even more involved with it. But then I was like, well, I should actually have matches, it just kept going. I should have some matches. I should see what happens here.
How are you? Good. Good. What's up, dude?
Hey, bro. Apologize about my actions.
I don't even know what you're talking about. This is a no parking zone.
Good. There's no ugly zone either.
Well, what are you doing here?
Well, the Stadium Inn is an old rundown hotel. There's a lot of rabble in and out of there, but for some reason they have wrestling in something that seems like it's a meeting room. Fans are all in your face and they feel like they're part of the show, so sometimes I think they live that up a little bit and they want to be seen. They want to be seen by the people coming to the show, like hipsters who'd never really been there before, and they're watching the fans as much as they're watching the matches. It's a strange social experiment, if you will. Currently, I'm the heavyweight champ at the USWO. This is the 4th time I've had that belt. No matter what I do in this business, I don't know what'll happen in my career, but that place will always be special to me. Not just Stadium Inn, but the Falk family, just because they helped me start out and they originally trained me.
Get down, boo-boo.
Get down, boo-boo. Pig.
Kip.
Pig.
Brick.
There we go.
Wagon.
Wagon.
Baba.
That's a key.
When I was 10 years old, we had a house fire. My family was living upstairs at my grandparents' house. And my father, he decided at that point not to come back to my family after the house burned.
What?
When you have an absentee parent, it does affect you because I don't know, at some points, at some different points in my life, it seems like I've done things to try to win his approval while he was alive, even though he wasn't around. I didn't do things for my own self. I did them for him. He died in 2004, so he's been gone close to 8 years now. But I don't know, when he passed away, I felt like I could finally deal with a lot of the feelings of his absence because I knew that he wasn't just out there lingering about somewhere. I knew that he was gone, and so I could finally, everything kind of crashed, and I could really look at those feelings I had growing up. My son is Soren Hudson. I'm just really happy to be part of his life and to see him grow up. It's kind of important for me to stick around for my boy no matter what happens and help out with his development and just be a loving and nurturing dad to him. Hopefully I'll get married as well sometime soon if my fiance will ever agree on a date, which I don't know if she ever will, but we'll see about that. You can find that out when you interview her. That should be the first question you ask her.
The wedding of the savages. Soon. It's soon. I have a child, as does he, from previous relationships. And although those relationships are over and we are like more than established as a couple here, I just really want to go slow. My name is Benita Egan. I'm also known as Aubriella of Amazonia. And I, for lack of a better words, am a crazy cave lady.
Instruct me on how to get it. How to get the fucking information, please. Oh, watch this note. Oh. We can ascend as well.
I'm in two bands right now. One of them is a hardcore punk band that's going to be called Jocephus and the Nihilist. And basically, that's me and two kids that are like 13 and 12 years old. It's funny, they're listening to the same records that I'm listening to right now. Our minds are sort of melding. Of course, my fiance would say that I'm as mature as a 13-year-old, so that's one reason it works perfect. But the other band I'm in is with my brother. It's a duo project. It's like organ, drum machine, and vocals, and we switch up on each one of those things. And that's a project I really like. We're hopefully going to do a couple more projects in the future, and I don't know, maybe we can get the wrestling world connected a little bit more to the art world. That was one thing I always wanted to do with this, because I always felt like it was performance art, and people like Bret Hart and all these guys are the master artists. So I'm still trying to find these connections between wrestling and art and music and all kinds of stuff. And that's one reason I'm going to stick with it as long as I can, as long as the body will let me. My immediate goals are just to keep working hard and to keep trying to get better at this, and maybe eventually big company might take a serious look at me, but in the meantime, I'll do the best I can.